Pooja Bhatt, Arunoday Singh, Randeep Hooda, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi.
Pooja, I want to start by asking you, it's been 9 years since Jism. And that film really pushed the envelope in terms of sexual frankness and on-screen intimacy. In Jism 2, you've cast a porn star as your leading lady. Is there much room for erotic subtlety?
Oh, plenty, because
tell us that.
pornography is sensation without feeling. Erotica is only about longing and feeling. And I think erotica and pornography are two different ball games. And that's why people assume that, because you've cast Sunny Leone, who is a porn star.
Right.
All the lovemaking scenes would have been a cakewalk. And they were anything but.
Okay.
Because, being comfortable with your body and bearing your body is one thing, but bearing your soul is quite another.
मेरा नाम इजना है. I'm a porn star.
मोहब्बत भी इतनी शिद्दत से की हो.
ये दुनिया प्यार की सिर्फ बातें करती है, चलती जंग पे है.
To the two of you, we live in a judgmental world.
Sure.
Did you have apprehensions about doing this film?
Not at all. I mean, if they had cast somebody else, I would have done the film in the same way, because the script itself was speaking enough to me. And when I heard the script, I went, "Jism 2 ki script hai?"
Right.
That was my response. So no, I did not feel anything, and I purposefully, I did not watch any videos of hers on the net. So that I did not want to look at her in that light, and it worked well with me. For me, she was just a rookie actress who's doing her first film and learning the ropes.
I mean, I was keenly aware of how it might be perceived, and you try to come to terms with the fact that is that something that you can, because I mean it's natural to think about whether you'd want to be, but the narration that Bhatt Sahab and Pooja gave me was so solid that I thought the casting of Sunny for a film like this was marketing genius. Because then you've not got a rookie actress whom you've got to then introduce to the world in a script that has such lovely emotional layers. So you've got a solid character. I mean, I had a solid character for me to try and struggle with, and a film that's going to generate a hell of a lot of buzz just by virtue of one person being cast.
It's interesting that you say that, and I want to ask you, Pooja, was there more to this than just a great marketing decision?
Honestly speaking, I had thought of casting her in 2002 for Jism.
Right.
India Today carried a little piece on her, and I saw her face in that magazine, and I said, "What a cute face!" Because she kind of throws you with that look. I mean, what you imagine a porn star is going to look like. I mean, they generally have a harder, more brazen persona, and she has this kind of almost young girl kind of feel about her. We contacted her agent, who wrote back saying she's just been signed by Penthouse and she's not very free right now. And when I was going crazy trying to think of who could actually fill in or fit into the shoes of Isna in part 2, my husband actually suggested to me, he said, you had this girl in mind for part 1, why don't you contact her? So I called Dino, my partner, and I said, Dino, have you heard of Sunny Leone? And he said, no. I said, well, then go online and don't get shocked. And Dino called me like sputtering 10 minutes later. He was like, Pooja, she's really cute, but, and the but said it all, So I said, okay, let it go. 3 months later, she was in Big Boss on television in our living rooms. So whatever apprehensions I had disappeared, because if we can, you're okay with her being in your living room, then why would you have a problem with her being in a film that you're choosing to watch or not watch?
Right.
And besides, whether she's a porn star or whether she's a nun, she's doing that in a country that allows that to happen.
Right.
We're not in the porn business, and we're not making a porn film with her.
बिकार मौला सब नहीं बिकार मौला और जहां रुका वहां पे जाम है खाली
Randeep, we've seen that poster. You know which poster I'm talking about. Was that hard to do? You know, Pooja, were you in the room? Was it awkward? Has your family seen it? I have all these questions.
Yeah, she wasn't there. It was me, Sunny.
They were in the bathroom. There was no room for me to be in the room. They were right next door. They were in the bathroom, actually, in a little shower stall.
And my dad jokingly said कि यार कहीं मुंह दिखाने लायक छोड़ेगा या नहीं. बोले तूने तो लड़की से भी ज़्यादा कम कपड़े पहने हुए. So I was like, yeah. So that was the reaction. But I think that poster is probably the sexiest self I have seen of myself, and I was very, very kicked and chuffed about it, and I'm glad we did that photo shoot that particular day. It's just been, you know, kind of chopped in a way where it looks like I'm not wearing anything, but I am. I'm wearing a towel.
Okay. Very low. Very low.
Very low. Very pushed very low for imagination, but yeah, that poster says a lot about the film too, so it's great.
Okay. Pooja, would this have been a different film had it been directed by a man?
Oh, completely. Absolutely. I think
I
that
agree.
Jism 2 is a fiercely feminine gaze, unapologetic, and it would have been an absolutely different film. And interestingly, Mr. Ram Gopal Verma actually messaged me to tell me that, hey, I'm going to be the first man watching this movie. I'll be the first one on the line to buy a ticket. In case you need my services to shoot a special song for you, call me. So I said, Ramu, be careful what you ask me because I might just take you up on it.
Okay.
And he said to me, interestingly, he said, you know, you will shoot her beautifully, but you need a male gaze. So I asked him, I said, have you seen my poster? Whose gaze do you think that is, a male gaze or a female gaze? And he hadn't, so I mailed it to him.
Okay.
And he was rather, I think, impressed with that.
So not only because you're an equal opportunity exploiter, if the girls take their clothes off, the guys will too. No, that's not the only reason it would have been different, because perhaps a man would not have shot his men as...
I think that is the case.
They
I
wouldn't
think
have.
a woman looks more beautifully at a man than a man looks at a woman. And I think it is Pooja having that feminine gaze. I think she has made both of us, I mean, look,
but she has a very
beautiful.
I mean, they're both beautiful looking men.
Sure.
And I would be doing them great disservice if I didn't shoot them in that manner. And I think that, you know, we have this ridiculous way of shooting men in this country where either you can, I mean, you take a heroine's close-up with great love and care.
Right.
But you don't shoot your men beautifully enough. And I think that is what I set out to do, and that's what my instruction to my DOP constantly was, let's make them look beautiful.
I want to ask the two boys this question. You know, when you're acting in a film like this or doing scenes like this, for an actor, isn't there this constant nagging fear? What if I get a little too excited?
Indeed.
I have never had that fear because what is important in that scene is the place you are emotionally according to the screenplay. That will govern your physical actions and your relationship with that person. You're so occupied with those thoughts.
We're such good actors.
Well, if that makes me a such good actor, then I am. Okay. I have never had that problem, and I don't think it should be a problem, because what you feel is not necessarily translated into physically. When you slap somebody, you don't slap them. In a movie, when you shoot somebody, you don't shoot them.
I think of cricket. It seems to work. Seems to work. And
no, and besides, it's kind of difficult to get overtly turned on when you're sitting. If you can be kissing somebody here, when there's somebody holding a light on your head, there's somebody holding a boom.
Nobody's right. It does kind of anesthetize everything. You're just not. You're not there.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, let me ask the three of you: what's your favorite adult movie?
Last Tango in
Who
Paris.
first?
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay.
Well, I would say Last Tango as well, because of the fact that huh?
He's just muttering.
I said same here, but I will change it.
No, Last
I'd
Tango.
say 9.5
No. Mine was coming to that. Last Tango, in fact, I discovered much later.
Okay.
9.5 weeks was what I grew up on.
Right.
So that was the film that kind of
Same
fueled
here.
my kind of teenage fantasy, and Mickey Rourke.
Right.
I mean, you could just die for that man.
Well, here's wishing you all the best with the film. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank
Thank you for having us.